Okay, welcome to the show today. Thank you, Mr. J.D. Houvener. Really appreciate you being here. I'm looking forward to talking to you about patents and helping my listeners and former clients learn all about it. So, JD, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah. And Jeff, thank you for having me on the show. This is it's a pleasure. I'm a patent attorney, and I'm the owner here at Bold Patents Law Firm. We're based out of Montlake Terrace, which is just north of Seattle, Washington, and we help inventors get patents. We're pretty passionate about working with solo and small inventors, small businesses, that is, and really without regard to any kind of technology. So you name it, from your as seen on TV type gadgets, to high powered software apps. We're really kind of across the board.
Excellent, excellent. So, how many years have you been in practice?
Just over 5 years.
Okay. Where'd you go to law school?
I went to Seattle U, just right here in South Seattle, and went ahead and got my MBA as well from there. So it's a great institution.
Excellent. How about your undergrad?
University of Washington. Graduated with an industrial engineering degree from there, and kind of a funny story. Went off and chased that engineering dream for a bit. I worked for 10 years at Boeing, aerospace company. You may have heard of them. They've been in the news lately, mostly bad news, but I think they're on the rebound. I helped design their 787 Dreamliner fiberglass wing technology. Worked there for 10 years as a systems engineer. Wow. And, it was a fantastic company to work for. I just kind of knew I was destined to kind of own my own company or own my own business somehow. And Boeing was actually the company kind enough to put me to school to get my MBA at Seattle U. And that's when I started, planted the seed toward a business ownership and thought about being able to leverage my engineering and technical background into patent law. And so I've been kind of launched into that, helping inventors from the technical side, argue with examiners about getting their patents granted. Fell in love with it and started a company around it.
Wow. So at what point did you realize, hey, I want to go to law school? I think I want to pursue this.
Well, so as part of the MBA curriculum, the last, course you take is a business plan competition. And I was the only one of the whole school my business plan was to start a law firm. Okay. And I was really saddened by the fact that I didn't get into the final round, because the judges were like, no one really cares about a law firm. Like, everyone has kind of these hockey stick, startup, app startups or new product whiz bang gadget type companies. But I really liked it because I was kind of in love with the show Shark Tank. And I think a lot of people were when it first launched in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, and, our favorite show. Absolutely.
Yeah. And they always ask, hey, awesome gadget, is it patented, right? Do you have IP protection? That question would always come up, still does.
Yeah.
And because it means a lot. It means it's novel and it means no one else can rip you off. You've got a limited monopoly. You can, have 20 years of run ahead of anybody else. So I said, well, what does it take to become a patent attorney? You have to have an engineering or science degree. Okay, check. You have to go to law school. Okay, well, that's still yet to be done. And then you're a patent attorney. You've got this sort of special status. And I thought that'd be kind of a fun way to come in with some credentials and to create some niche in terms of joining a new services field like law. And I decided that right then at the end of that competition, after I kind of worked the numbers and wanted to own my own firm straight out of law school. So that's what I did. Excellent.
So you mentioned that a lot of your clients are small inventors. Who is your typical client?
It's typical. I would say it's someone who has a day job. Okay, someone who works kind of a 9 to 5 or a 40+ their hour job, but has got something they're working on the moonlight, right? Some passion project, some dream they're chasing. Maybe they're further along. Maybe they're, 1 foot out the door where they're part-time with their day job and they're with someone else partnered up. They've got a prototype and this is it. They want to change the world, make a dent, and go for it, right? Be bold. That's our typical, we have a little avatar, right? Someone who's about 35 to 50 and has got some working capital, knows how to take something seriously and is investing their time seriously into that. We help secure their IP rights, introduce them to those on the business end, and Maybe it's restructuring, right? Maybe it's sending them off to bankruptcy to kind of get their finances in order before they make a jump. Um, and so we really help our clients there, because it's the big firms that just can't reach, right? They can't relate. They're structured to help big companies. They really aren't positioned to hear stories, to be able to lend that hand down and help someone else up that's just getting started, that needs some education before they really spend the big bucks. So I've made that part of my mission. And so if you hopped onto YouTube or go to our website, you'd see I've done a lot of YouTube videos. Just what is a patent? What's the difference between that and a trademark? How long are they lasting, right? What is the difference between a design and a utility? It's information that shouldn't be secret. You shouldn't have to pay $500 an hour to learn about. So
Right, right.
I've got tons of info there, and it's been really helpful.
Do you do trademark as well?
We do. Yeah. I mean, advertise, patents, but it's really common that a lot of inventors will get, filed. And then there's that period where you're waiting to hear back from the examiner, and they're ready to get going. They want to launch, they want to do a Kickstarter, or, partner up and start talking to third parties. And you got to protect your brand too. So it's a real natural fit to lock down the trademark. So we do help with research and application filing as well.
Excellent, excellent. So what do you think is your greatest strength as an attorney? What separates you from the pack?
Well, me personally, doing the legal work is in most cases actually not the best fit. Okay. And I say that honestly. I have a unbelievably talented team of patent attorneys. Their experience exceeds my own. My personal best where I can help a client the most is kind of doing what we're doing now. And it's networking. It's being able to make a really good referral
Yeah.
to help an inventor client be successful. It's the hardest thing, is to launch a new product and to actually be successful, right? To make money. It's not easy, right? 10 million patents issued. I think the last stat I saw was like 4% of all patents will actually, net profit, right? Actually bring in some money. So I try every day to change that stat, and to give the inventors the best chance possible and to make money and connect with individuals to be truly successful.
Yeah. So you can represent somebody anywhere in the United States?
Yeah, it's a federal practice, and same with trademarks, right? So we have inventors from 41 different states. I just had to send it over my CPA actually. So yeah, I mean, we're almost everywhere. Our attorneys are kind of sprinkled across the country. We have 6, and we're not a gigantic firm yet, but we have 6 attorneys that are full-time, dedicated, work with inventors all over. Like I said, we do make sure that if they're going to launch a company, start a company, write contracts, negotiate deals, that we make those introductions to state-specific attorneys that know the state law. And so we built a really neat, close referral network that way, where if someone's in, Louisiana, if someone's in, Miami, we've got at least 1 or 2 attorneys we can send their way, send them to rather, to help make sure they've got a good home base, because we're really kind of more like the niche specialists, right? You got to make sure they've got a primary physician, to go to for their everyday needs.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent. So tell us a little bit about your personal life. You got a family, you got kids?
Yeah, I do. I mean, just outside that door, I think we're all working from our home office these days, right? But yeah, I've got 3 beautiful kids. Stella is 6 years old, Emma is 4, and Hamilton is 2.5. And yeah, it's busy. We're doing some homeschooling and, kind of being conservative with the COVID stuff. So,
Yeah.
but it's been a really neat time to spend time with each other. And we wouldn't have been this close if it hadn't have been for that. So there's a lot of cool blessings there. We're living up in Lake Stevens, for anybody that's familiar with that area, and we love it up here. It's nice. It's far enough away from the city. Got great people up here. Like it a lot.
Wonderful, wonderful. How'd you meet your wife?
We met at the University of Washington, actually freshman year, way back in 2003. Well, we actually were, we were dating different people, but we stayed in touch. She was on one of the only co-ed floors in one of these dorms way back in 03. And yeah, we stayed in touch and started dating about 3 years after that. And we've been married now for over 10 years.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I wanted to ask you, in the patent world, do you ever have clients they meet with you, and then you say to yourself, man, I really wish you had done fill in the blank before you came to meet me. What kind of pitfalls do you see clients fall into that they could otherwise avoid if they had just come to you sooner?
Yeah. The heartbreak stories are, hey, I've got this amazing invention. I really need your help getting this protected. Here's the link to my website and Amazon page where I've been selling it. And I ask very carefully, how long have you been selling it? And if they tell me more than a year, I have to break it to them that it's not eligible for filing. Okay,
Ah,
if you've published or sold your invention for more than a year, you can't file. It's not right. It's just not going to fit. The patent office will reject it. Even if you were to file it and lie, they'll find out, or anybody you try to sue would find that hole. So it's a tough one. I try to get that message out as much as I can. I wrote a book about it. It's right behind me. I guess I'll pitch the book a little bit. Bold Ideas: The Inventor's Guide to Patents. It's a quick hour read. We got a free PDF download on our boldip.com contact page. And yeah, I mean, that's the number one, Josh. It's like, oh
oh,
no, don't tell me that. And it's just there are ways to help, certainly, those folks, because sometimes they're already selling. We can help them, give them an opinion on how to avoid infringing someone else's patent.
right.
But in terms of securing their own rights, it's by that
It's
time
gone.
too far gone. Yeah,
Oh man, that's brutal.
yeah,
Brutal.
yeah.
How often does that happen?
It's probably 1 out of 30, 1 out of 40 potential clients come in,
Oh,
and
wow.
they've had a Kickstarter up. But there's different flavors.
Yeah,
Sometimes they sold widget A, but in the back they've been working on version 2.
yeah.
And if version 2 is different enough, you bet we can look into filing and securing what's different,
Yeah.
right? What's improved. But in almost every case, it's like, it's kind of marginal, right? It's incremental as opposed to what could have been.
Wow. That is some good information right there. That's powerful
Right.
stuff. I could totally see somebody, they get excited, they invent something. Hey, let's see if we can make some money on it. Wow. And a year goes
Yeah,
by and they think,
I
shoot,
know.
we need to get a patent. Wow. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, I know. So
So,
if we can catch them, before that year's up, we usually recommend doing what's called a provisional. Provisional will secure your rights for up to a year. And
yeah,
in that year, that's when you want to do your testing, get
yeah.
your market research, make the improvements, and then file the full non-provisional
So,
within that year.
you mentioned your website. Um, is that how most clients contact you?
We get a lot, probably about 60% of our leads come through the website. We're getting, we're really fortunate now to get a good stream of referrals that are coming in, and we do have some paid ads as well. So it's been kind of a mix there.
Yeah.
But I think what's helping people find our website is the blog articles that I've written the past couple of years, and those YouTube videos that send
So,
them over to us.
boldip.com.
Boldip.com, you got it.
And you have a YouTube channel as well?
Yep, Bold Patents. Yeah, just right up there. So yeah, you check that out. We've got hundreds of videos. The latest ones are published just last month, and I do a weekly Bold Today show on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what you're doing, Jeff. I mean, it's kind of like an interview radio show where I'll
Yeah.
bring on inventors, actually clients of ours that are willing to share their invention that they're now patent pending with. And I just love it. Just sharing what they've got and inspiring others that are ready to, not sure if they want to get started or not.
Right,
And
right.
it's been pretty cool.
That is exciting. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, in your local community, what kind of local organizations are you involved with?
Goodness, it's hard to say. It's hard. I mean, I guess you could say formally, I am part of the Washington State Bar Association.
Yeah.
And also the Washington Patent Law Association. So the WSPLA. Those are the two biggies. There's alumni groups, but it's been challenging with COVID, right? A lot of the stuff required these really neat in-person events. And I think everyone's been challenged to kind of, what do we do now? How do we get together? So
It is virtual. Yeah.
You bet.
How about history? I'm a history nut. Do you have a favorite historical figure?
Well, today top of mind is MLK. I mean,
Yeah.
I heard it. One of my mentors, Darren Hardy, had a speech he gave in 1968. He was just unbelievable. 3 months before his death.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was like, wow, that man could speak. I mean, wow, just
Good.
right to your heart.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, he's top of mind right now. But I'm not a huge history guy. How about you, Jeff? Who do you love?
I drift, you know what I mean? I drift a lot, but you know, I'm gonna say a guy that I've been reading a lot about lately is Genghis Khan, and
Huh.
his story is so fascinating that if I were to tell you Genghis Khan was a space alien, that would be easier to believe than the real story. I mean, it is amazing. I mean, most of these conquerors, they grow up in these highly educated worlds and they're born into privilege and they've had all this extensive training and da 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 da. And for all intents and purposes, he grew up homeless and he wasn't even part of a tribe.
Wow.
And he didn't even want to, all he wanted to do was get married, have kids, and go live in the woods. And somebody made the mistake of coming and stealing his wife. And they stole his wife. And so he had to go become part of a tribe. And he did. And you know the story. He got his wife back. And that's the beginning. That's where it all begins. I mean, it's just,
Wow.
yeah. Crazy stuff.
Okay, you have to send me kind of where to start. I mean, if it's a documentary or if it's a book, send me a little piece on that, would you?
Yeah, I sure will. Absolutely.
Okay.
Got some good stuff.
Cool.
So when you're not working on patents and you're not chasing kids, what do you do for fun?
I do like flag football. And we're the weather's pretty rough right now, but when the weather's fair,
Yeah.
that's my jam. That's my jam. Flag football. I do like basketball too.
Yeah.
And that's fun. And those are my sports, my go-tos. There's a Puget Sound basketball league I get into.
Excellent. So you still play?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll play a little bit. I mean, we're on there's levels. I'm on C, right? Not quite D, but I'm on C. It's competitive. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, man, I so appreciate you taking the time to come on the show. I know you're super busy. Is there a phone number that my clients could have if they wanted to reach out to you to call you if they've got something to talk to you about?
Right. I don't know if you can see that, but 800-849-1913. That's our main line.
Okay.
And you're going to get Amira. You may also, if you call after hours, you'll get our answering service. But we offer a free screening session. That's what we call it now.
Yeah.
I have trained advisors. They're not attorneys, but they're darn good. I train them myself, and they'll help tell you, hey, is patents the right fit right now? I mean, is this the right legal area at all for what you're doing? And if it is, then they'll help you schedule a consultation with either myself or Tom. Tom is our managing attorney. So yeah, check out the website, give us a call. That first step is hard, but you gotta be bold. Just to see if it's worth going after right now. Don't make that mistake, right? Don't go publishing and selling your invention.
Hey, I mean,
without
it's free.
talking to
What
us
have they got
first.
to lose?
Exactly. Yeah. Just give us a call. It'd be great. Yeah. And any of your clients, obviously, Jeff, would be happy we'd roll the red carpet out and make sure they felt right at home.
Well, I've got a lot of colorful friends and colorful clients. I know somebody out there has got a world famous invention sitting out there somewhere. So they need to give you a call.
Okay.
Buddy, I appreciate you coming on here. And
you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right.